The new NFL league year started this past week. The first event in the season? Free agency. Some teams take New Year, New Me very seriously, with over 250 different players signing contracts this week. Since it is nearly impossible to review 250 plus moves, I am debuting the first ever NFL free agency award show. Potentially the most unique award show ever, with each award being tailored to a specific player or team. Let's see who won some of the most prestigious NFL awards this week. Welcome to the 2024 NFL Free Agency Award Show. Do you have any players left award? Presented to the Buffalo Bills. Before free agency even started, the Buffalo Bills cut 6 players. 2021 All-Pro safety Jordan Poyer, 2-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trey White, Pro Bowl center Mitch Morse, returner/wide receiver Deontay Hardy, Sirian Neal, and running back Nyheim Hines. Jordan Poyer and Trey White have been around since 2017, with their releases indicating a fresh restart for the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, do you even have any players left on the roster? The Burning Money Award, the Denver Broncos. The Broncos traded King's ransom to acquire Russell Wilson 2 years ago, and now they will be paying him $85 million over the next 2 seasons to be on another team. The Denver Broncos also cut 4-time second-team All-Pro and 2-time Pro Bowler safety Justin Simmons, saving him $14.5 million. Meaning the Broncos cut $67.5 million worth of contracts this year. It's a good thing you're run by Walmart, Denver. That's a lot of money to burn. How did they not lose anyone award? The Kansas City Chiefs. You know, it should be a rule that if you win the Super Bowl, some players should have to leave. The Kansas City Chiefs have only lost 1 player this offseason so far, and that was wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who has issues catching the ball. The Chiefs were able to re-sign Chris Jones to a 5-year, $158.75 million contract, the highest for a defensive lineman ever. Franchise tag cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, and re-signed linebacker Drew Tranquill. The Chiefs also signed former first-round pick Hollywood Brown to a 1-year deal. All these moves are possible due to Patrick Mahomes restructuring his contract and freeing up $21.6 million. And the worst part is, the Chiefs still have almost $10 million to go acquire free agents. They won the Super Bowl last year. How did they manage to get better? You should be losing players after you win the Super Bowl, not gaining them. The Chiefs are really going to win 3 straight, aren't they? New corny phrase award, Russell Wilson. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed Russell Wilson to a 1-year, $1.25 million contract. I can already see the new Russell Wilson catchphrase when he shows up for Media Day. Steelers Nation. Let's smelt? Maybe not. Steelers Nation. Let's weld. Nah, I don't know if I like that either. Or maybe Steelers Nation. Let's steal. Probably that one, since Russell Wilson is getting paid $53 million by the Broncos to not be on the roster this year. In all fairness to the Steelers, Russell Wilson will be an upgrade at the quarterback position. Steelers fans are already used to their offense not doing anything, so Russell Wilson is a perfect addition. I predict that Mr. Unlimited leads the Steelers to a winning record and a first-round playoff exit, just like they did last year. At least Mike Tomlin still won't have a losing season, because that's all you're going for in Pittsburgh, right? Not Super Bowls? Just not having a losing season? Oh, Russell Wilson just signed. Let's see what he had to say.
Steeler Nation just signed, baby. Fired up to wear the black and gold. Here we go.
Oh, the new catchphrase is Steelers Nation, here we go? But here we go is what Dak Prescott says.
Here we go! Here we go! Yeah, here we go!
Russ, you would have been so much better with Steelers Nation, let's steal. Especially since you stole the catchphrase from Dak. The Keeping the Band Together Award, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers decided to keep the band together by re-signing wide receiver Mike Evans and quarterback Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans signed a 2-year, $52 million contract to stay in Tampa Bay, all but cementing him as a lifetime Buccaneer. Tampa also extended Baker Mayfield for 3 years at $100 million with $50 million guaranteed. Actually a really good contract for a Pro Bowl quarterback. Good job, Buccaneers. Letting Mike Evans retire a Buccaneer is awesome. He deserves to be there. He's one of the best players your franchise has ever had. And that Baker Mayfield contract is really good. If Baker Mayfield ends up struggling this next year, it's easy to move on from him. Buccaneers fans should be ecstatic. You're building something and you have players that want to be there. Good job, Buccaneers. You had a great free agency. Positional Losers Award. Safeties. If you know an NFL safety, I advise reaching out and making sure that they're doing okay, because there's a good chance they may not have a job anymore. Some of the best safeties in the NFL were cut this season and joined the free agent market, such as Justin Simmons, Jordan Poyer, Quandre Diggs, Kevin Byard, and Jamal Adams. Adding to an already stacked free agent safety class, which included Xavier McKinney, Julian Blackmon, and Geno Stone. Every single year in free agency, there seems to be a position that loses its value, and this year it was the safeties. If your team needs a safety this year, there's a really good chance you can go get one for cheap. The Position Upswing Award, running backs. Last year, the running backs were not getting any contracts. It was so bad that the running backs had to have a teams meeting due to not getting paid. Whatever plan they developed in the meeting appeared to have worked, with running backs Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, and Tony Pollard all getting at least $8 million per year on their new contracts. During free agency, Joe Mixon was released from the Bengals and Aaron Jones was released from the Packers. Both Joe and Aaron signed with new teams and got contracts close to the $8 million range. This was a good year for running backs. I'm happy that they're finally getting some of the money that they deserve. They still have a ways to go, but it's a lot better than it was last year. Position Winner Award, guards. Former Dolphins guard Robert Hunt signed a 5-year, $100 million contract with the Carolina Panthers. I think maybe one of the reasons why he got paid so much is because the Carolina Panthers want to try him out as running back this year. I mean, just look at him. He's a natural. Other big guard deals signed. Damian Lewis with the Panthers, 4 years, $53 million. Jonah Jackson with the Rams, 3 years, $51 million. And Kevin Dotson with the Rams, 3 years, $48 million. My recommendation for any guard that's going to be hitting free agency soon, try to sign with the Rams or the Panthers. You're going to make a lot of money if you do. The Best Agent Award goes to Kirk Cousins' agent. Kirk Cousins received a 4-year, $180 million contract that included $100 million guaranteed.
I need more money.
Kirk Cousins will be 36 years old when the season starts and is coming off one of the worst injuries in all of football, an Achilles tear injury. What has Kirk Cousins done throughout his career? Won one playoff game and gotten paid $331 million. Kirk's agent, you're the real MVP. You secure Kirk Cousins' Brinks trucks year after year after year when he doesn't have the postseason success. Especially this year after coming off an injury. Way to go, Kirk. You knew the fans would riot if they tried Desmond Ridder out there. Way to go get your money again at 36 years old. The Early Bird Award? The Chicago Bears. The Bears signed running back DeAndre Swift just 12 minutes into the legal tampering period. It's kind of ironic that the Falcons and the Eagles have been accused of tampering while trying to acquire Kirk Cousins and Saquon Barkley, when Swift was on a new team not even 15 minutes after free agency opened. Congrats, Bears, on being so swift. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't click off the video. We'll carry on. The Recanting Award. Will Lutz. Will Lutz had a 3-year deal in place with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just a few short hours later, Will Lutz decided he was going to sign with the Denver Broncos, recanting on his agreement with the Jacksonville Jaguars. A message to all you Sean Payton haters out there. See, players do want to come play in Denver. This is a great place. Unfortunately, the player most committed to this is a kicker. Finally making good decisions award, the Las Vegas Raiders. As a Broncos fan, it hurts me deep that I actually am going to praise the Raiders. New GM Tom Telesco is making good moves. The Raiders have only signed 3 players so far, but 2 of the signings are some of the best signings this offseason. The Raiders acquired defensive lineman Christian Wilkins from Miami on a 4-year, $110 million contract. Max Crosby is a top 3 pass rusher in the NFL, and the Raiders have tried many times to support him, but have absolutely failed each time. In 2022, the Raiders signed 32-year-old Chandler Jones to a 3-year, $51 million deal, with $32 million guaranteed. Jones only played 1 year on that contract, recording 38 tackles and 4.5 sacks, meaning he was paid $850,000 per tackle. In 2023, the Raiders drafted edge player Tyree Wilson with the 7th overall pick out of Texas Tech. So far, Wilson has only recorded 29 tackles and 3.5 sacks, even worse than Chandler Jones. With the addition of Christian Wilkins, teams can no longer just focus on Max Crosby. It could also help Tyree Wilson develop, being the 3rd option on the defensive line as opposed to the 2nd. What a great move by the Raiders. Ugh. Can't believe I said that. The Raiders also made a move at quarterback. The Raiders signed American hero Gardner Minshew to a 2-year, $25 million deal. So what does Gardner Minshew bring to the Raiders besides patriotism and beautiful hair? Gardner Minshew is the perfect quarterback for their situation. If the Raiders want to draft a young quarterback, he can help them develop. If the Raiders want him to start, he can play at a Pro Bowl level. Or as a backup quarterback, he can win games for you. He is the perfect quarterback for the Raiders situation. It's just unfortunate that this patriotic male specimen has to be a Raider. Rebound Award, the Miami Dolphins. The start of free agency went absolutely terrible for the Dolphins. There was a mass exodus out of Miami. Christian Wilkins, Andrew Van Ginkel, Robert Hunt, and Brandon Jones all left in free agency. The Dolphins also released Emmanuel Ogbah, Keon Crossen, Jerome Baker, and Xavier Howard. It looked even worse because the Dolphins weren't signing anybody. Everybody was just leaving. But to the Dolphins' credit, they rebounded incredibly well. The Dolphins were able to acquire Jordan Brooks, Jordan Poyer, Kendall Fuller, and Shaquille Barrett. Credit to the Dolphins. In the hot Miami Heat, they stayed cool, calm, and collected. They didn't panic. They went out and got some players that could fill these holes. Good job, Dolphins. I truly thought it was over for you. Way to rebound. Plus, Dolphins, you now have Jonnu Smith. Arthur Smith sure seems to think Jonnu Smith is better than Kyle Pitts, and Kyle Pitts was a first-round draft pick. Good for you. You got a talent that Arthur Smith likes. That probably means that he's not going to do well in Miami, though, huh? Heath Ledger Joker.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Mac Jones. Michael McCorkle Jones was traded from the New England Patriots to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 6th-round pick. Jones was drafted in the 1st round by the Patriots in 2021, which was probably the last time he smiled. Jones struggled with his time in New England, and look at what the Patriots' way did to him. It almost turned him into Bill Belichick. This guy didn't smile anymore. Look at how mad he looks. Mac Jones was on a path to the dark side. And now look at him. Look at the happiness. The hooded Sith Lord no longer has influence on him. Good for you, Mac. I hope you can enjoy football again. The Patriot way just isn't for everybody. The Who Are You Gonna Tackle award? The Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens signed King Henry to a 2-year, $16 million deal. King Henry is the one running back who doesn't appear to be slowing down with time. The Baltimore Ravens offense next year should consist of nothing but read options for the entire game, and make the defense try and tackle the 6'3", 250-pound monster running downhill at him, or try and tackle one of the most elusive runners of the football the NFL has ever seen in Lamar Jackson. Ravens, this is absolutely perfect. You should do nothing but run the ball. It's going to be almost impossible to defend. Just a word of advice to the Ravens. Run the ball more than 6 times in the AFC Championship. Sorry, I broke character. Ravens, just run the ball. Nobody's going to stop you. Defenses don't want to tackle Derrick Henry, and they can't tackle Lamar Jackson. Just run the ball. You will have one of the best offenses in the NFL this year. The Hopefully You Didn't Overpay award, the Tennessee Titans. The Titans made a lot of big signings this free agency, but there's a chance that they overpaid on almost every single one of them. The Titans gave Tony Pollard a 3-year, $24 million contract, which is a head-scratching move, especially when you take into account Tony Pollard's injuries. Tony Pollard broke his ankle in January of 2023, and he hasn't been the same since then. I just don't understand this much money for a running back who struggled last year and still appears to be battling a nagging injury. This move's also confusing because the Titans already have Tajay Spears. Oh, you don't know who Tajay Spears is? Tajay Spears is one of the best young running backs in the NFL. It's okay that you didn't know that, though, because apparently the Titans didn't even know that because they gave all that money to Tony Pollard. The Titans also signed center Lloyd Cushenberry, who was signed to a record-breaking deal of 4 years at $50 million. Cushenberry could be a great signing, but he's only had 1 year where he's been really good. I hope this doesn't backfire on the Titans. And the most crazy contract of all, the Titans paid Calvin Ridley $92 million for 4 years, at 30 years old. Just 2 years ago, the Titans refused to pay A.J. Brown $100 million for 4 years, when he was 24 years old. And yes, A.J. Brown may have some character concerns, but Calvin Ridley was suspended for an entire season for gambling, which is ironic, because that is the theme for this Titans free agency class. It's gambles. I could totally be wrong. These could be some of the best signings this year. But I don't know why you're risking this much so early into your rebuild. I hope it works out for you, Titans. The best running back room? The Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers signed running back Josh Jacobs, giving them a two-headed monster of Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs, a power back, a bell cow back, someone who can hit the team over and over. Aaron Jones, shifty, quick, cowboy destroyer. The Green Bay Packers are going to have one of the best running back rooms in the... Oh, you just cut Aaron Jones. Oh, well, we need to make some changes to this award. Okay, sorry about that. Best running back room for 45 minutes, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers had the best running back room in the NFL, and then they decided to cut Aaron Jones. What a glorious 45 minutes it was for you Packers fans. And then it all came crashing down as your GM made questionable decisions once again. Even worse, Aaron Jones, the leader in the locker room, ended up going to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm sorry, Green Bay. It looked really good for you for 45 minutes. At least you got Xavier McKinney, though. That's got to help soften the blow a little bit. The Losing Value Award, the Carolina Panthers. Panthers fans, I'm sorry. Look away, cover your ears, Come back to the video in 45 seconds. You don't need to see this. You've already been through enough. The Panthers traded star pass rusher Brian Burns to the New York Giants for the 39th pick and the 141st pick in this year's NFL draft. Not an absolutely terrible return, but in 2022, the Rams offered a 2024 first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick, and a 2025 second-round pick to the Panthers for Brian Burns. The Panthers turned down this offer and considered Burns a building block. And now in 2024, that building block was sent away for a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick. Not even close to the amount of value that they were offered. The man-child, David Tepper's dysfunction continues to hurt the Panthers over and over. And you can't speak out, because if you do, David Tepper's going to throw a drink on you, and the NFL isn't going to punish him at all. If you know somebody that likes the Panthers, go give them a hug. They need it. The University of Texas Assemble Award, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have one goal this offseason, and that's to acquire as many University of Texas players that they can. The Broncos already have one former Longhorn, Caden Stearns, on the roster. But why stop there? The Broncos then re-signed former Texas safety P.J. Locke and former Texas wide receiver Little Jordan Humphrey. The Broncos then went out and acquired safety Brandon Jones from the Dolphins, who was a safety at, yes you guessed, Texas. The Broncos then went out and signed defensive lineman Malcolm Roach, who played for, yes you guessed it, Texas. I think we know Sean Payton's draft strategy this year. They're going to draft as many University of Texas players as they can. The boom to bust award, Jacksonville Jaguars. What would the Jaguars do when they lost Calvin Ridley, a wide receiver that would tear it up one week and disappear the next? Well, that's simple. You just bring in another guy like that. The Jaguars signed Gabe Davis to a 3-year contract. As a lot of fantasy football players know, Calvin Ridley would go off one week and then be terrible the next. And so would Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is the epitome of boomer bust. Just look at this past season. In week 15, Gabe Davis caught 0 passes for 0 yards. But just a week later, caught 4 passes for 130 yards and a touchdown. It's perfect, really. Why change anything? You have one inconsistent guy, bring in a new inconsistent guy to replace him. What would I expect from a team that had a 4% chance of making the playoffs in 2022 and ended up making the playoffs, and a team that had a 99% chance of making the playoffs in 2023 and ended up missing the playoffs? It's a perfect example of what Jacksonville has been since it became a franchise. Boom or bust. Playing chess, not checkers award? The Philadelphia Eagles. Congratulations, Eagles. You have the best front office in all of the NFL. The Eagles made so many big free agent signings. Bryce Huff, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in the NFL. Devin White, a Super Bowl winning linebacker. And former Eagles safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The Eagles lost 2 cornerstone pieces this year, Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox. Yet somehow I think they're better than they were last year. Somehow they even got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to walk back a statement he made about Eagles fans. That's something that's almost impossible to do. The media isn't talking about me award. Aaron Rodgers. Could this award really go to anyone else? I see Aaron Rodgers sitting in his dark room and thinking, you know, the NFL is talking about so many other people not named Aaron Rodgers. I need to change that. And what does he do to get attention this time? Only be a potential vice president candidate for Robert Kennedy. Why wouldn't Aaron Rodgers be a politician? He's perfect for it. He's already polarizing enough. Plus, he can always have the cameras on him. Wait a second. Oh no. Does this mean Nathaniel Hackett's gonna run America's offense? Oh no, that's not good. You're dead to me award. This award goes to any player that went to a division rival. Patrick Queen, Saquon Barkley, Geno Stone, Aaron Jones, Jordan Poyer, and Calvin Ridley. How dare Saquon Barkley leave a team that decided to pay Danny Derps instead of him? How dare Saquon leave a team that placed him on the franchise tag? How dare he leave for a team that offered him $2.5 million more in guaranteed money? Saquon Barkley is just the worst. Isn't that right, Tiki? It's not like the Giants won a Super Bowl a year after you left. You know what, Aaron Jones? How dare you leave the Packers and go join the Minnesota Vikings?
Honestly, I don't even know who's on their roster after I got released. Just turned straight to the Vikings.
Yeah, it's not like you have any reason to be mad. It's not like the Packers wanted you to take another pay cut, even though you've taken pay cuts in the past. It's not like you were a leader in the locker room. It's not like everybody loved you on the Packers. But if I can be real, the ultimate winner of this award is Patrick Queen.
Mike Tomlin was looking at me, yelling at me, "You're not a Raven. You're not a Raven. You're not supposed to be there. You're not one of them." So every time I play them, it's something personal.
You mean originally you wanted to fight Mike Tomlin, and now he's your head football coach? Man, I can kind of see why Lamar Jackson said this. I kind of agree with him. That one was low, Patrick. That one was low. The Come On Do Something award, the Dallas Cowboys. So let me get this straight. Jerry Jones comes out and says you're going all in this year.
All the way around, and so we're all in.
And what is all in to the Dallas Cowboys? Being the only team to not sign any players the first day of free agency. On the second day, oh, it gets even better on the second day. You signed one player, and that was your long snapper. He was so mad that he put a comma in that wasn't needed. Never change, Dallas. Never change. The Who Needs Wide Receivers Award. The Los Angeles Chargers. Wow. I thought for sure you would have kept at least one of your superstar receivers. But what did you do? You released Mike Williams and Keenan Allen due to cap casualties. I didn't realize Jim Harbaugh was just going to turn Justin Herbert into J.J. McCarthy. He's going to turn around and hand it off. I guess we all know what the Chargers draft strategy is this year. Acquire wide receivers. For waiting till after the video was recorded award, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers traded Kenny Pickett for a third-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Steelers are claiming that Kenny Pickett didn't want to compete for the job with Russell Wilson. However, Kenny Pickett's camp is claiming that there wasn't going to be an open competition to begin with. So it's kind of confusing. But if Kenny Pickett wanted to be a starter, that's not going to happen in Philadelphia this year. Kenny Pickett will be backing up Jalen Hurts. Not even 24 hours later, what did the Steelers do? Trade for Justin Fields. The question can finally stop. Where's Justin Fields going? Kind of funny, the start of free agency, we thought it was either going to be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. Well, it turns out it's both of them. Now Russell Wilson will be the starter while Justin Fields is the backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is honestly a really good pairing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their starting quarterback and backup quarterback match really well. If Russell Wilson doesn't work out, you can just springboard Justin Fields into the starting position. Then after that, you can offer him an extension. Really cheap quarterback room. They've paid $1.2 million and a 6th-round pick. And last but not least, the ultimate winner of NFL Free Agency Award, the NFL. Of course they won the ultimate winner of free agency. For the past week, they've had us eating out of the palm of their hand. Free agency in the NFL is cared about more than the regular season of the NBA. Congratulations, NFL. You won yet again. Just more and more of that sweet moolah. Whew. Wow. What a lot of awards. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching the video. In the comments, let me know if I missed an award. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Have a great rest of your day.